Yo, what is good, guys? Let me see. Let me see. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can see me. Let me know what's good, guys. Talk to me. I need to know. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and hop on my phone real quick. I had to hop on, bro, because these beats were not cutting it, bro. Let me see. Let me make sure my volume is all the way down. Bet. Let me know if you guys are live with me, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I mean, I can see myself. Let's go. We in there. But how was your guys' trading week, guys? How was you guys' trading day? Did you guys trade today? How was you guys' trading week? Do you guys want to go ahead and send some plays in? Let me know, guys. There was some big moves this week. We had some heavy news this week. I had called out some buys on Monday's call. So if you were live with us on Monday, if you were live with us on Monday, I ended up calling out some buys on indices. So if you guys were paying attention, you guys set some alerts, you guys were marking up some charts. Hopefully, you guys were able to catch some pips. The market did fly, so hopefully you guys were able to capitalize. Partial move, stop loss to break even, things like that. All the good trade management that you guys should be doing every single trade. So I hope you guys were able to capitalize with us. What's good, guys? What's good? Let's go. I'm reading the chat on my phone right now, so let's go, guys. Good. I traded 4 trades. Went 2 positive, 2 negative, up 500 underfunded. Let's go, bro. Let's go. We love that. Love to hear it, bro. I've been seeing you stay consistent. I mean, you've been fairly consistent since I've met you, since you've been with us. But you know, these last few months, since you've uh, been back with us, things have been fire, bro. I've been seeing your charts. Your charts just look way different too. Like your charts are way cleaner. They're less messy for sure. I'm not sure if you noticed that. They're a lot cleaner, a lot fresher, and I can see your trades very very sniper like. So let's go. I love to see it, bro. Congrats. You definitely deserve your flowers. You've been here. You've been putting in the work. You've been putting in the time for at least, I believe, at least 2 years now. Let me know, Josue. Let me know. I believe it's been around 2 years, bro. But nonetheless, I mean, however long you've been in here, bro, you definitely had your head down and you've been putting in that work. So, congrats to you, bro. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I'm not sure if you 2.5 years. Let's go. I love that, bro. I love that. Not sure if you guys want to go ahead and share some ideas, maybe some trades that you guys had won, maybe some trades that didn't play out so well. They maybe hit your stop loss. We can talk about it. Give you some feedback on why it didn't work out and why it did work out. That's just as important as back testing, guys. Promise you. So if you took trades, because I know y'all, where do you send charts? You guys can't send charts in this chat, this live chat. Just curious because I personally never had sent in a trade or a link. Does it let you? If it doesn't let you, just send it directly into the Powerhouse chat, and I'll go ahead and pull them up from there. That's okay. Yeah, I always assume that it lets you. I don't know why, but if it doesn't let you, go ahead and I can, but you have to copy. Yeah, that's fine. No worry. I don't mind copying it. That's cool. It's even better because I'm working with OBS, so it's just bang, bang, bang. It's no worries. So yeah, so if you guys want to send in some trades, or we can talk about some wins and some losses and why they worked out, go ahead and do that. But we can go ahead and start heading to some charts now. Let's go get and hop on some charts and some camera. Let's go. Y'all can see me in the right hand corner. What's good, family? Well, let me know. I'm waiting for my screen to change to US 30 here. All right, bet I can see it now. All right, cool, cool. So hopefully you guys were with this. Let's delete this for the visual clarity because this was not here yet. These were continuation moves that we were looking at, that I'm looking at. But at the past, the market. When was Monday? Let's actually. Shoot. What was Monday's? Oh, it says right here. Monday. Awesome. So on Monday, this was the structure that we had here. Now, I had told everybody that I definitely would like to continue with the bullish bias. If we go to higher time frames, the indices are bullish. Whether they drop down a little bit lower and go to lower zones and go higher, or go to lower zones and go higher, or go to lower zones and go higher. Even though they're making their way down, it's still long-term bullish, right? So whether they make their way down to either one of these zones here, in my head, I'm still thinking buys if I can get the structure that I need, right? I'm looking for the buys. So because we are bullish, right? Because we are continuing in that upward trend, right? Simply, I'm looking to continue the buy bias. Okay. Now, as we jump and get a little bit closer, this is the structure that we have on the 4-hour time frame, right? We have possible buy zones, and as we're getting a bit closer to these areas, right? I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on the 1-hour time frame. Now, this was a structure that we had at the time. Now, I'm looking at this structure here, and I'm thinking this is pretty good structure here. We have, left shoulder, neckline, the head, and then we change direction. So I'm looking at that structure and I'm thinking, yo, we can go higher there for sure. Not only do we have a head and shoulder, but we have a 4-hour or a daily starting point. So let's delete this. And we have a 4-hour starting point here. And a daily starting point here. So I was looking at this area and I'm saying, okay, cool. The market may drop lower. I'm going to keep that in mind just in case, right? Because we never know. The market likes to just slam and do its thing, right? So just in case the market doesn't want to respect this zone here, I'm going to keep this in my back pocket, okay? So as we drop down to lower time frames, I believe I had this zone here as well too, as a possible inverted. And I told everybody, you know, these are the closest buy zones to continue going higher as of right now. As price is right here, you know, this is the closest buy zone as of right now. This is the second, and obviously the next one after that is down there, right? So again, I like to take opportunities as they come. Okay, now if we look at this and we run the risk to reward, right? Even if we just ran our risk to reward, let's just not even talk about or bring up just waiting for the confirmation, and just keep in mind every single trade you can wait for confirmation to get in every single trade, right? You don't have to take the first touch ever. You can always wait for the confirmation. But let's just say we're taking first touches. Okay, let's just say we're taking first touches. Again, that's my 1 to 3. Oops. And this is, oops. And this is my second trade here. And this is my 1 to 3. Right? So let's go ahead. Again, I would like to continue running some highs, but let's just stick with the 1 to 3s for the examples, okay? So as the market is making its way back, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, okay, cool. We had liquidity swept, right? This right here, the liquidity that swept, or the structure that swept liquidity, you know, gave it enough momentum to start heading down to our buy zones now. Okay, so now this is where we have to start marking up. I can already see a pullback here. So if we wanted to wait for confirmation, we could. But let's just say we took the first touch, right? Market drops into our zone. We take the first touch. Do we get any type of confirmation? Not really. The market just continues to drop. So let's just say, you know, we took an L there because you know what happens. Some people are very aggressive. You know, I have no control on how you guys, you know, with your entry criteria. You know, that's why I'm saying some people will enter first touch, and then some people will enter based off of more confirmation. So there's two different types of people. But let's just say, you know, you took that first loss there. It happens. Now we're down. Now we're down -1%, right? So now the market had already tapped into my zone here. Boom, we're already in on my second entry, okay? We're already in on this second entry. Now let's see if the market can continue going higher. So just based off of this alone, this is just a simple 1 to 3. My first one that was here, this one was a loss. My second trade opportunity down here, this one was a win. So this first trade was -1%. My second trade was +3%. Altogether, I am up +2%. Give me a 5 if that makes sense, guys. Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. Let me know. Blast this link out, guys. Hey, send this link to all the chats inside of Powerhouse, guys. What's up, Neri? Let's go, Neri De Niro on the call. I love that, bro. I love that. Love to have you, Neri. But blast this link out, guys, because talking about these trades, we got to talk about it. We got to talk why the market moves so well. When you see the market take off, why does the market take off so well, right? So that's already a +2. Now, again, I was looking to continue with these highs, right? So as we have our +3 or our 3%, let's continue to see if we can continue to ride this wave. Every line is an extra percent is what I'm trying to get at right now, okay? And I'll just take the high. So let's just say, so at this moment right here, this was a +3. This is a +4. I'm just trying to see what the market gave us exactly, right? Oops, I don't want to exit. Now let's go ahead and continue. At this point, the market gave us that +6. Now, again, obviously, I want to hold these trades to the highs and continue making new highs, right? However, guys, we have to continue to partial out. Just because we want to hold these and start to swing opportunities doesn't mean we can't partial out along this move here. This is what taking profit is. Like, you're not just gonna have, you know, one take profit, two take profit, and then not take profit again and just let it hit take profit three, or hit my swing TP. Nah, like, you guys have to have some type of zones in between your take profit 1, 2, and 3 and your swing high. There needs to be zones where you can continue to take profit, right? But nonetheless, the market actually gives a +6. Now let's see if that's what all it gives. I think that's all it gave, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So the market actually gave a +6. Okay. So if we were able to hold, which again, it may continue to ride the to the uptrend and continue that upward movement. However, if you were here and the market gave you that +6, and maybe you were looking to sell here, right? I'm not sure what you guys are looking for, but maybe you said, you know what, I'm cool with +6, and maybe this changes from +3 to +6. If that's the case, you are up +5. Very important to know that, guys, because if you're looking to swing and the market is moving, the market doesn't necessarily owe you any type of swing opportunity. Let's just get rid of this for the visual clarity. The market doesn't owe you the high. We're looking to take the highs. We're looking to continue. Once the market drops back down, we're looking to continue new highs. That's what my thought process is, right? If we're going to continue bullish, I want to continue making new highs, right? But the market doesn't necessarily owe you that. So along the way, as the market is making its way up, guys, take some partials. We are on the indices. This isn't like USDCHF, where like this whole move here is like 60 pips. Nah, this isn't 60 pips. This is US 30, right? This is 740 pips. Guys, collect some of that. Collect some of that stuff. Yeah, it's not the peso, nah, collect some of that. That's for you. You did the job, you did the analysis, we did this together. If the market is riding and continue going in our favor, guys, let's partial out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's our job. The market doesn't owe us any type of partials. The market doesn't owe us any type of movement in the direction that we want. But when the market does give us that direction that we're looking for, it's our job, the trader, to continue to collect as the market goes up. Give me a 1 if that makes sense. Because even if I was looking to swing this to the high, what if the market, because I'm looking at some lower zones still, or I wouldn't mind if the market came here. What if the market says, you know what, Vinny, we're not ready to go higher now, and we're going to go lower? If I didn't take any type of partial, I'm literally giving money back, guys. All the money back. If I don't, especially if I don't break even, shoot. But if the market's here, you guys all should be at break even, 1,000%, right? So, but we should not be giving any more money back than we should be, okay? But nonetheless, this trade is in profit right now. I wouldn't mind if it continues to ride those highs. There's other opportunity that I will be keeping an interest on this upcoming week. This one already used up. Not really interested in seeing if we can use these. But we'll see if we can continue with this movement here. And we'll just have to wait for tomorrow. This is my change of direction line. Or not tomorrow, but next week. This is my change of direction line. We had just swept liquidity here. So that's my BOS at the downside. So if we can continue, right, liquidity, consolidation, my sweep, if we can continue going higher, I would like to see if we could find our starting point, our left shoulder, and continue going higher. But if we do not do that, then we can continue dropping to lower zones, right? But as of right now, the trade that we had taken here is in profit right now. Is in profit. right? So make sure if you guys took that trade with me, make sure you guys are, well, if you guys aren't now, Monday or Sunday, as soon as market opens, make sure y'all are at break even, and make sure, please, guys, make sure you guys are partialing out some money. You guys got to partial out. That's really like the biggest thing, guys. I promise you. How many of you guys? This is like the thing, guys. This isn't no like everybody knows this. And if you don't know, you're going to know. Like you're gonna see everybody and as many chats as because I know guys, people are in chats, right? People are in chats. Whether it's our chats or other chats, Discord chats, YouTube chats, Instagram, there's chats all over. And a lot of people are in there. You're gonna see a lot of people catching entries just like this. You're gonna see people catching snipes just like this. You're going to see the market respecting zones and giving rejections just like this. On different charts, different strategies, different analytics, different technicals, but you're going to see the market respect zones. Now, why can't people become profitable? Why can't people become profitable, guys? One, and this is the most important, they're over trading. Two, over leveraging. And three, they don't ever take profit. They don't ever take profit, guys. I know a ton of people who can catch snipes just like this. And then you know what happens, guys? You know what happens? They see the market going in their direction. And then they're like, hold up. Ah. They're like this. They're like, hold up. Let me get a pic. Let me get a pic for Instagram real quick. Let me make sure I make this shit look like super saucy. Let me drop down to that 15-30 minute, and let me go ahead, click. Let me go ahead and upload it to Instagram. And then they upload it to Instagram, and then the screenshot curse gets them. And then what happens? Boom. Has that happened to anybody? Let me know. Hey, don't be lying either. Has that happened to anybody? You're in profit. You did everything you're supposed to do, but instead of taking partials or having trade management, what you should be doing, you take a screenshot for Instagram. You post it, and then for some reason you're like, bro, why don't every single time I post this shit, I just lose? Like, why? This screenshot curse, guys. I'm telling you guys, I know plenty of people that can catch snipes on top of snipes on top of snipes. I can see them getting rejections all the time. But when they don't take partials, guys, and they don't take some type of profit, that hurts them and it bites them in the butt. So all the good work that they did leading up to this trade here, all the good analytics and chart markups they had to do, all the waiting, all this, and that, and the third, just to take a screenshot, post it, and not capitalize on all the hard work that they did. That right there is what really hurts your psychology. It's not the losses that hurt, guys. It is a little bit, but it's knowing that you did all that work with nothing to show for it. We have to start taking partials, guys. We have to start taking profits. Do we need the 1-7s? No, we don't. I've personally have graduated from 1-3s, right? I've personally have graduated from 1-3s. But you, the newest student, guys, stick to 1-3s. Stick to them. They work. They frickin' work. Okay? They work. So stick to them. They help a lot. And the person who takes profit the most usually just has a better time in the markets, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, the second trade that we had talked about. Come on, bruh. How many times? The second trade that we had talked about was NAS. Now, Nas wasn't like the cleanest in my opinion, right? Because structure is very like sloppy. Where's Monday? You are on Telegram, right? So this was Monday. No, I'm sorry. This is Monday. All right, so it's Tuesday, Monday, but same rules still apply. I had told you guys that this right here was possibly a missed opportunity. However, if the market wants to come back in, I wouldn't mind seeing if we can continue going higher. And that's exactly what it did. Whether you waited for confirmation on those lower time frames, you could have taken that. Or if you were trusting the opportunity in hand, you could have trusted that. This was the fib entry. However, everything lined up, right? We have a starting point that was respected, and we changed direction off of that. So consolidation, we swept some consolidation right into our starting point, and then we continued going higher. We missed this right shoulder and then created liquidity and then continued going higher. So I'm looking at this. One, this was a missed opportunity. Two, it built liquidity. So let's see if the market can come back down into our zone. The market taps in this area, and let's drop down a lower time frame. Let's go to the 5. Look at the structure that was given, guys. Look at the structure that was given. A lot of liquidity here. This is where the market starts to slow down. The market starts to slow down. We get the push to the downside. There's many ways you could have gotten in on this. This was more of a liquidity sweep. I wouldn't really consider that like a solid breakout. So this would be more of a liquidity sweep. Now, this was my change of direction. Let's continue. So this was my entry on the 5. Now let's drop down slowly. 2 minute, 1 minute. Let me see. Okay, this is a little high. My bad. Let's zoom in. Notice, guys. What candle? This is an important question, right? This is an important question. What last selling candle gave me my change of direction? The black arrow? Oops. The black arrow or the orange arrow? This is my change of direction right here. Which arrow gave me my change of direction? The black arrow or the orange arrow? And I'm talking about my last selling candles, right? This is a selling candle. This is a selling candle. So what last selling candle gave me my change of direction? That would be the orange. That would be the orange, right? Because I'm focused on this change of direction right here, right? Because someone said black, and honestly, you're not wrong. If you're focused on this structure here, consolidation, we swept, and notice how this last selling candle is also the last selling candle that changes direction. So if you're focused on this structure here, you're actually not wrong. However, I was more talking about the last selling candle that changes this direction. And it's going to be the orange one. Boom. So if you waited patiently, this could have been a second opportunity down here. Again, you're not wrong. That could have been a second opportunity. And that also lines up with this head and shoulder. So, you know, you could have just kicked that head and shoulder aside and just used this starting point. And this is where we start running our risk to reward. And again, this is where risk to reward becomes so important. Because if I see two possible zones, this is opportunity one, and this is opportunity two, right here. So now let's see what zone the market wants to respect, opportunity one or opportunity two. And we can already see the market smacked opportunity one with 1 to 3 already, right? But again, if we're looking at this, I want to see if we can hold to some type of highs. So let's continue to hold, because that was our whole idea, right? We wanted to swing the highs. So 1 to 3 already smacked. 1 to 3 already smacked way down here with this one candle alone. Even if you wanted to come to this area, this is a fair area. So let's go down, back down a lower time frame. Even this is a fair area right here. I wouldn't even mind taking this. That's a nice opportunity. So what is the market doing right now? I can see the market making liquidity right here. Very, very subtle. But let's see if the market drops down to continue going higher. So again, it's mainly stuck inside of this consolidation here. So we're just moving sideways right now. Okay. However, I still wouldn't mind seeing if we can continue going higher. Now, if I'm seeing consolidation like this, I'm always looking to see if we can sweep it. I want to see if we can drop lower before going higher. And then we can continue going higher. So let's see if that's what happens. Oops. No, we didn't really sweep a whole lot of that liquidity. However, we did get a tiny sweep. Oops. We did get a tiny sweep of the liquidity in here. But I was looking to see if we can take out some of this. However, the market continued to run. And, bro, market hit TP3, TP7. Market's continuing to run. So this is what it looks like, guys, when you're looking for higher time frame zones, right? When we can see higher time frame zones, this is a higher time frame zone. This is big structure. This is, no one's gonna use, this is realistic. No one's going to use a 318 pip stop loss, right? I can see Neri on this call right now saying that is disgusting, right? I don't think she's ever risked 18 pips, let alone 318. No one realistically wants to risk 318 pips, right? This is what you have to do. We go from higher time frame, the 1 hour, down to the lower time frame, the 1 minute, to wait for a confirmation that is valid. We're on the 2 minute, on the 1 minute. To wait for confirmation that is valid. And in my opinion, this is valid. I like this structure. I do see this. However, I'm looking for buys in this zone. I'm not really looking for a whole lot of sales, even though the market did sell off. I can see it respected, but this sell took me right to my buy, and then we were gone. So I was looking for buys the whole time, right? Now again, this structure is clean structure to me. Liquidity, we have consolidation, we have the sweep, and then we change direction. But what makes it even better for me, and where I felt confident, is where this is the thing, guys. I like to see consolidation. This helps me a lot, actually. Makes me feel a lot comfortable. Consolidation, we sweep, we go higher. What did the market do again? Consolidation. When you see consolidation after a change of direction, I'm already thinking, again, the market wants to sweep. But not only that, there's incentive to go higher. There's a reason to go higher now, right? So as the market drops and comes into my buy zone, there's a reason to go higher now. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. I'm going to delete this for the visual clarity. Because sometimes you'll see structure that just looks like this. You know, you'll see like consolidation, drop, change the direction, right back down, and you're like, well, shit. Is it going to continue dropping? Or... Because I like to see this. This makes me feel comfortable. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, the market could go higher. You know, but when you just see the market just slam down after a change of direction, you don't really, you're like, oh, shit, is it going to continue dropping? I don't know. You know? But when you see a little bit of consolidation after a change of direction, you're like, ah, okay, cool. There's incentive. There's a reason now. There's a reason to go higher. Right? There's a reason. So keep that in mind, you know. I do like to take these as well when it's very, very sharp. We sweep liquidity, change direction. I don't care. It doesn't need consolidation as long as we do 2 things. We sweep liquidity with the break of structure or liquidity sweep, and we change direction. That's all I care about. If we can get a change of direction that's followed by, change of direction after a liquidity sweep, I'm looking for opportunities, right? As soon as it comes down, that's cool. I'm not really scared. I want to continue. But I do know for some people, when you can see the liquidity after change of direction, this makes you feel a whole lot better. And I get it. Trust me. I get it. Trust me. So the indices, in my opinion, they took a minute to come back down to these zones, but nonetheless they're respected. If you went down all the way to the 1 minute, I mean, you were catching some crazy risk to reward. This was a 1 to 11. I think the market went super high, higher than that for sure. And then is that where it started to drop? Yeah. So overall, the market gave you, a 1 to 16. Again, do these trades happen all the time? Not really. Not all the time, especially like if you're looking to swing. I look to swing in specific zones. So those specific zones may happen once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, depending on the pair. And sometimes it doesn't always take you down to the the lowest time frame possible to catch an opportunity. So keep that in mind. If this does continue to go higher, this would be a 1 to 20 trade. Literally, a 1 to 20 trade. Now, guys, I want you guys all to understand. Everybody can catch these trades. Everybody can understand this structure. Guys, I'm not the smartest guy you know. If you talk to me, you probably think I'm missing some brain cells. I gotta be honest. I'm very mellow. Can you explain a bit more on why you would use wicks and not the body on the candle for the change of direction? Yes. Okay, cool. So, for the wicks, right? This is just how I was taught when it came down to levels. Um, you know, we don't really use the bodies because, you'll realize we used to actually draw zones from wick to body for the BOS and change of direction when I was first in here. When I was first introduced to head and shoulder. We used to draw zones like this. And then you're going to see okay, if I just use the wick, there's going to be times where the market's going to go below that anyway. I'm sorry, if I just use the candle, a lot of the times the market's going to go below that anyways. Because it's trying to entice you. The market is saying, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. We're going to sell now. We're going to sell now. Does that make sense? Hey, look at me, we're going to sell. Try to catch me. We're momentum traders. right? Catch me if you can, and then it pulls back, and then it stays within the zone, and then it goes higher, and then the market tries to do the same thing. This is what consolidation is. Catch me if you can. We're dropping down now, and then nope, we're not going. We continue going higher. So a lot of the times when it comes to support and resistance and finding your breaker structures and change of directions, I'm always using the wicks because candles usually will try to fight below to entice you. So when you use the wicks, you're helping yourself and saving yourself the headache. You know, if a candle could break and close outside of that, that's some good confirmation. If it's just continuing to throw some wicks out, you know what I'm saying. You know, save yourself the headache and stress and overthinking, use the wicks. Use the wicks. I hope that makes sense. Because again, even when I started to use the boxes, like you start to understand like these wicks, these wick zones. I'm not using these to sell, but you're gonna see a lot of the times like they just be like pushing out, pushing out. Then you'll actually have a breakout, and then that's when the market starts to do something. You know. Let's see. Let's see if I can find some anymore. But that's just how levels was taught to me, and I always saved that. Right. I always kept that in the back of my mind because when I wanted to learn and venture off, I started seeing educators use, um, the wicks or the bodies like this, and then they would start to look for sells, and then the market would just go higher. And I'm like, well, how can I save myself some trouble and start looking for some more confirmation? And it was using the wicks. So just to keep things simple, if you want to save yourself some headache and to make sure this is a good confirmation, use the wicks. Okay? Because the last thing you want to do is use the body for a change of direction when you should have used the high, and you're like, okay, cool, the market changed direction on the body, we can start to look for buys now when the market comes in this area. And then what happens? The market just continues to tank. But what would have given us a better confirmation? The body or the wick? If the candles on this right hand side would have broken and closed above this wick, that's letting me know, hey, that's some seriousness. The market doesn't want to play today. Let's see if we can continue riding those buys. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense for you, Austin. But guys, like back to what I was saying, like I ain't the smartest guy you'll ever know. Trust me, like if you ever talk to Neri, bro, or Junior, or there's just there's some smart people out here, guys. Trust me. I was kicked out of high school. I dropped out of college. I went to barber school. I literally went to barber school, guys, because it was one subject, bro. Well, at least in my mind, it was one subject. It was hair. You know what I'm saying? And then when I went to barber school, they taught me a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of color, a little bit of this, and I was already stressing out, bro. I'm telling y'all, I ain't the brightest guy you'll ever meet. But if you can follow structure, and you could identify trend, and you can identify breaks of structure with change of directions, guys, like you can do this. I believe everybody can do this. This isn't rocket science, bro. This isn't like, you know, pulling a baby out of a body or trying to save somebody in a car crash, bro. This is looking for pattern recognition. Looking for the same thing over and over and over and over again. This isn't trying to save a life, bro. It's guys, it's pattern recognition. Everybody can understand this. Guys, what is this? Let me know. Tell me in the chats. What is this, guys? Lamest terms. What are we doing here? Let me know. Talk to me. Dang, so none of y'all know. That's a problem. If y'all don't know this, that's a problem. This is where we start. Downtrend. Yes, thank you, Josue. This is the downtrend. Teresa, if we're in a downtrend, we should be selling. Guys, this isn't cutting hair, bro. This isn't saving a life. If the market is in a downtrend, we should be looking for some sell opportunities. If the market is in an uptrend, what should we be looking for, guys? If you can visually see the market's in an uptrend, what should we be doing? What should we be looking for? We should be looking for some buy opportunities. And when the market is consolidating, this is where we sit tight. Because if we're in an uptrend, we would like to see the market sweep, change direction for some more opportunities. Now, if we're in a downtrend, if the market's in a downtrend and we start to consolidate, we want to see the market sweep to the upside and then change direction. Guys, all we have to do is wait. And that is the biggest thing that I've seen, not only in my trading, but in everybody else's trading. Everybody loves to click buttons, but nobody loves to wait. Not one person do I see waits for confirmation. Serious confirmation. Very few, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people wait for confirmation. But everybody loves to click the buttons, right? Guys, when you can understand what needs to happen, like everybody at this point, because I do know we have some vets, right? Everybody at this point should understand what they absolutely need to see 100%. Guys, if we're in an uptrend and we should be looking for buys, and let's just say, just with this example here, right? We have a break of structure to the upside. We had a starting point. The market respected and went higher. Awesome. This zone is no longer usable. We now use it here. Give me a 5 if you are with me right now. Now, again, if you guys can't tell me what you would like to see next, this is a real problem. This is a real problem because you don't know what you need to see. So now you're not trading based off of what you want to see. You're trading based off of reaction. When the market makes a move, now you make a move. That's not how you should be trading. You should have a blueprint and what you would like to see throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. And if you don't see that, you stop clicking the buttons. Stop reacting to every move and pullback the market makes. So guys, if we see this, what are we looking for? Buys or sells? If we see this whole setup here, everything in mind, what are we looking for? Let me know. I need you guys right now. We got 10 minutes left. Buys. Awesome. Thank you, Josue. Thank you, Teresa. They know what they want to see. They've been here for a while. They've done the back testing. They've asked the questions. They send in the charts. I know for a fact, 100%, those two people know what they want to see. They have an idea on how to approach the markets every single day. Now, you're looking for buys. Let's say the market is on its way down and the market starts to consolidate. What are you looking for now? What are you waiting for now? Be very specific. What would you like to see? For those who are looking for buys, right, we want to get in here. What would you guys like to see? This isn't no right or wrong. I want to know where your guys' thought process is. This is a line chart. This isn't a live example. We're not taking trades. What would you guys need to see next in order to feel comfortable taking opportunities? If you guys don't even know right now, guys, that is a problem. And we have to fix that. So don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Don't feel like, this isn't for you. We just need to narrow down what we need to see. Josue, sweep the liquidity, enter buy zone, change of direction, then re-entry. Let's go, Josue. Josue's been around for 2.5 years, and he knows exactly what he needs to see based off of what structure is planted here. There is liquidity hanging out right here. There's liquidity hanging out right here. Josue said he wants to see the liquidity sweep. I'm assuming he's saying to the downside and then change direction. Once we get that now gives us our head and shoulder opportunity. So we can look for another re-entry to continue going higher. Austin, a BOS to sweep liquidity to the buys. Guys, when you know what you want to see, trading isn't hard. It's literally a waiting game. And this is very textbook. Guys, when you know what you want to see, trading isn't hard. It might be frustrating because we need to wait, but it isn't hard. It's about waiting for these things to happen in sequence so we can feel good about taking these opportunities. But when you don't really know what you want to see in order to continue with your opportunities, you're literally, and I promise you guys, and I wish none of you guys go through this, but you guys are going to click buttons and you guys are going to react based off what the market is doing. And that is when trouble starts. That is when you start to overtrade because now you're clicking buttons way too much. Now you're over leveraging because you're taking more than a few trades than you should be. Right? So keep that in mind. We're in January, guys. January. How much better can we be by the end of the first quarter? How much better can you guys be by the end of the first quarter? Because I know all of you guys are, if there's a mountain right here, right? And we're coming, let's use this one. And we're coming up that mountain, about to head over. A lot of you guys are right here. Push, and let's say you have like a wheelbarrow full of rocks. It's heavy, and you're pushing. You're tired. You take a break. You're pushing. You're tired. You take a break. You're pushing. You guys are right here. Guys, January, we're in January right now. Please get this and understand this. We're in January. In 2 to 4 months, you guys can be right on that hill, right at the top. 6 months in, we're starting to coast over. By the end of the year, guys, you guys can be different traders. And again, I'm talking to people both sides of the spectrum. People who've been in here for a while that feel like they haven't got the results that they deserve or that they're expecting. They haven't hit these certain goals that they place for themselves. And then I'm also talking to our newest individuals who are very, very new, and maybe this is just like totally new information. And hey, if that is you on this call, I've been there. I started this with completely zero information. I grew up in the hood, bro. I grew up having to do specific things on the streets to make money. I don't come from this environment. So coming into the space, I didn't know what a pip was. I didn't know what a long and short was. I didn't know what support and resistance or liquidity entry, stop loss, take profit. I didn't know none of this stuff. So I understand where you're coming from. But in 2 to 4 months, when the first quarter ends, you can be a different trader. By the end of this year, you guys can be different traders. Your psychology can level up. Your patience can level up. Your awareness can level up. Your grind can level up. Guys, you guys can all level up. And it all starts with accountability. It all starts with accountability. Who feels like on this call, there's a couple of us on this call, who feels like they hit their goals in 2025? Let's be honest. And I'm going to put in the chat, if you feel like you hit your goals, give me a 10. If you did not hit your goals, give me a 1. And I'm going to go ahead and put a 1. Because I'm right there with you guys. I'm right there with you guys. I did okay, but I didn't hit the goals. I didn't hit my goals. I need to go hard just like you guys. And I'm in the trenches just like you guys. So if you guys need any help, please hit me up. Send me some charts. Ask for feedback. I am always here to help you guys. Neri, Gio, Miguel, Jack, Bavik, all the educators that I, because we have a ton of educators in Powerhouse. So sorry if I missed y'all. But we have a ton of people who are here to help you guys with plenty of wisdom and plenty of experience in the markets. And we're all here to help you. Do you guys have any questions before we get off this call tonight? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Jack, I'm sorry, Austin. I'm sorry, bro. Let me see. You said you sent me some charts. I'm going to go ahead and look at these. I got you. I got you, bro. Y'all can see my charts, right? We're good. I'm just waiting for my YouTube to transfer the charts. All right, I can see it now. BTC 4-hour time frame. I do like this. Because I see my starting point. That was. Let's go over here. Actually, let's go to. Go to the daily real quick. So we had just missed this daily, I believe. Yeah, I mean, like, just missed that, bro. Like, by a hair. But as we dropped to the 4-hour time frame, there was a starting point right here. And that was respected fairly well, right? And if we look at Austin's setup, he's looking for buys in this area. His stop loss is a bit tight. It's underneath this low, which is fine. But if he wants to be a bit more comfortable, it can be down here. Now, he has his entry, I believe, right here with this stop loss, I believe, right here. Let's go back. Yes. With the minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now, I like this setup because we're following that upward trend. We have a break of structure to the upside. And he's following his starting point. Now, if you want to have a bit of a looser, more comfortable stop loss, the low would be your stop. However, and you can also use this one as well. This would be a bit tighter. And if this would be a lot tighter. So this one's a bit more comfortable. I wouldn't mind using this one at all. But just keep in mind, if we don't break this low, Austin, if the market wants to come in and be a little toxic and we just do this, we can continue going higher, bro. So just keep that in mind. That needs to be in the back of your mind. And that should be in everybody's mind. If you guys like using tighter stop losses, that's fine. I understand. I get it. Nobody wants to risk 84 pips or whatever the case. However, if you guys hit stop loss, just understand we really don't reverse until the low is broken. Okay, so if the market wants to go and be toxic, that's fine. But as soon as we change direction, we can start looking for opportunities. As long as our low isn't broken, we're fine. Right now, we're just running our risk to reward right here, and I get that. I totally understand, right? So now you're telling yourself, I'm willing to take a loss to continue trend. However, if the market does not break this low and we continue to shift structure, I can continue going higher. Give me a 3 if that makes sense. So I don't mind that structure at all. Let's go to the daily. We had just respected a starting point too down here and an inverted starting point. I think we had just missed the inverted. Oh, we had sniped the shiitake out of that one. And now we're continuing to the upside, right? So I wouldn't mind. Like, this is a good zone. This is a zone I was looking at. So if we can continue going higher, I would love to continue going higher. I would love it. Please continue, BTC, because my poor portfolio. Um, but yeah, nonetheless, I would like to continue. Even on the daily time frame, this is telling me break a structure, right? So now we're just lowering down the time frame to find the nitty gritty entry. Now, again, as the market's dropping down, we can always drop down to lower time frame and seeing if we can catch this. This right here is totally up to you, right? That right here is totally up to you. But as a higher time frame, I can see this and continue to go higher. If you want to continue dropping down to catch more of the snipe, and maybe your risk to reward goes from, this to maybe something like this, I get it. I get that 120,000%. So just continue doing what's been working for you guys, right? Not everybody drops down. Not everybody waits for these lower time frame structures. I could see it. It makes sense. Um, let's see. Like, even this one down here doesn't look too bad because we still have liquidity here. But nonetheless, like, I am liking the structure that it is respecting still. Oops. This tapped in and continued going higher. And technically, this one is the next in line. It's just, it hasn't gotten an entry yet. Based off of inverteds, right? Inverted here. This is the next one. And then obviously, if the market fails to continue going here, oops. If the market fails to continue going higher here, I will look to see if we can get a reaction off of that one and continue going higher. But nonetheless, I would like to see more bullishness out of Bitcoin based off of higher time frame. Oops. Yeah, based off the higher time frame structure. This was a nasty pullback. Nobody was expecting something like this. But I mean, look at the freaking snipe. Look at that. We may just continue making new highs from there. Who knows? If the market does, that's wild, and I'm here for it. Let's go, BTC. Gosh darn it, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Let me go back and grab another one, Austin. ETH. Okay, cool. I'm looking at your ETH right now. Let me go back to ETH. Very similar setups that you had. When you're talking about this area here. Let me see. Just let me pull up your. Oops. Close that out. Entry is at this high. Okay, cool. So your entry is here. Your stop loss is at below this wick. All right, so I'm gonna be honest, and this is just my opinion on this. I don't like this at all. However, I do understand the trend, right? And there's times where crypto, I don't know why. I mean, it like I don't know, bro. It just like rubs me. You know when like someone like flips their lid, like their eyelids inside out, and just like makes you feel uncomfortable. I don't know why, but crypto loves to leave liquidity, and then just continues to run. I don't know why, but that just makes me feel uncomfortable because of everything I know based off of inverted, and continue to go higher. So when I see like equal lows like this, I want it to be taken out first before going higher. However, I've noticed with crypto, they'll leave that there and just continue running, right? So take that with a grain of salt. But again, it all goes back to what you would like to see and what you're willing to wait for. But based off of this and levels, structure wise, this is a break of structure. This is my starting point. Oops. So I wouldn't mind seeing if the market could give me a reaction off of this and continue going higher. Let's jump to higher time frame. Same thing with the higher time frame weekly zone. We had just tapped into a starting point. I would have wanted it to go lower. It didn't. It is what it is, but we're getting the right reaction. We're getting that upward reaction after a massive pullback. So that's cool. I like to see that stuff. I do like to see that. Now let's drop down to lower time frame. Now this is where things get a bit more nitty gritty. Right? This starting point here gets missed, takes off, comes right back to the starting point, and then it really, really takes off. Then what happens next? We have an inverted. Left shoulder, head, change of direction. So now this is my next buy zone in play. The market taps right in and then takes off. Now this is ugly. I don't like the way this looks at all. Let's see. Let's go up to the daily real quick. We took care of this one, right? Yeah, we took care of that. Let's drop down the 4 hour real quick. Do we get this? All right. All right. So this makes a bit more sense now. All right. So first and foremost, I'll be honest. I don't like the way this right here is looking at all. However, we'll just worry about that when that comes. Now, when it comes to here, I don't really like this either, the way it leaves equal lows. However, I do have a starting point right here. Notice how we break structure to the upside. Where's my line at, bruh? We break structure to the upside, and that gives me a last selling candle. Notice we drop down and we create liquidity right above that buy zone. Now, again, I would like to see if we can get some respect off of this and continue going higher. But if it doesn't, don't be surprised if the market wants to go ahead and run those lows and then go higher. All right, Austin, just keep that in mind, bro. Again, this is where confirmation comes into play as well. Waiting for that confirmation, because if you know you have some two zones, bro, it doesn't hurt waiting for the market to change direction. It doesn't hurt, bro. It doesn't hurt. And if we can consolidate, you're like, oh yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Right? So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and go to the other one. Where you at? Soul. Yeah, I mean, they're all very, very similar in structure. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Where was this at? Go ahead and pull that up. 4 hour, looking down here. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Let me just look at the daily real quick. All right. Okay, cool. So let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So check me out. Where are we at out here? Let's go to the weekly. Okay. So the market definitely did a whole lot of manipulation. Right? Because the market tapped into this zone once and took off. Then the market came right back to the zone and took out everybody who was selling. Or, I'm sorry, everybody who was buying. Market smacked them and then continued to run higher. Right? So that sucks. One, like it does. We can't deny that. But now we just have to adapt. Right? We have to adapt. Now, if the market came back all the way down here just to respect it and go higher, I need to mark that up. So my starting point was taken. We can see that. But my left shoulder tapped into. So let's drop down the daily time frame. Let's delete the lower zone. So look at this, guys. My left shoulder was tapped into. Look at the structure that we are creating. Consolidation. We sweep liquidity. Oops. We break structure to the downside. We haven't changed direction yet, at least on the daily, right? And I'm more of a fan of using the dominant lows and the dominant highs, right? I'm more of a fan of that. Now, as we drop to that lower time frame, the market does pull back on the 4 hour. I'm sorry, does change direction on the 4 hour. So it is giving us hints. Even this bullish, bullishness is giving us good hints. It wants to go and continue up to the upside. But now you're looking for entries in this area, which is great, right? Now again, don't be surprised if the market comes down here. Now why? Because notice how we break structure to the downside. We change direction when? Here. So this left shoulder is still valid. I'm not worried about if the market touched it inside of it. I don't care about how many times the market touched it inside. If the market changes direction here, now this right shoulder is valid, right? So don't be surprised if the market wants to come down here. It could happen, or it could happen a whole lot later, right? But nonetheless, let's check this out. Okay, cool. Let's drop down the 1 hour. Bro, low key, even this looks good, bro. Even this, I kind of like this, bro. I ain't gonna front. We took out a whole lot of liquidity here. Took out liquidity, and then we changed direction right away. Now I know this right here might not look the nicest in structure, but we can still use the dominant. BOS, change of direction. This is my starting point, and we leave liquidity here. So I wouldn't mind if we actually come back down a bit lower. But nonetheless, Austin, like the buy bias, I understand what you're looking at 100%. We are respecting structure. We are going higher. And even this, we sweep the liquidity. We continue to go higher and then leave liquidity right above my buy zone, right? So just keep that in mind when the market comes back down to this area. Exactly. Yes, sir. So the market comes to this area. Now it's surely like, okay, you can test out your first zone if you'd like, but now this is also where confirmation and just waiting for that change of direction comes into play. Boom. We get that? Yes, sir. It's game time. Run it. Run it to the highs. All-time highs. You swinging those suckers. Swinging them. And I believe this is the last one, BNB. I appreciate all y'all for staying tapped in with me. Hey, this looks good. Hey, yo, cryptos is looking good. I ain't gonna front right now. I don't really trade a whole lot of cryptos. BNB. I don't have BNB in here. Is it this one? Which one you look at? Oh, let's go back. BNB, USD, crypto. I don't know if it even says. Oh, it has to be. I think it's this one. Yeah, all right. 4 hour time frame. Look at this. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Now let's go back. Okay, so now, hey, I like this structure, bro. Look at this. We're respecting all the way from this starting point down here. BOS, the upside, right? That's already telling me, hey, we want to continue going higher. This was my last Allen candle. That was a snipe. But now let's just follow structure. Notice how we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. We break through. So all of this is my consolidation. And then we sweep liquidity. Now, when do we change direction? We have to understand this is it right here. Yes, we have an internal, and this definitely helps us. It gives us more of an idea if the market does want to go. But notice how this strong move, it was a strong move for a reason. It was to break structure to the upside. So this is opportunity 1. Now my second opportunity is going to be my inverted head and shoulder. It's not the prettiest, however, the structure is there. Right? We had a BOS to the downside, a change of direction to the upside. Right? So we have our starting point, and then we have the BOS. So again, you could run your risk to reward. You have opportunity 1, opportunity 2, right? You have to be okay with taking a loss here, or you wait for that market to change direction. If the market changes direction, then it was this one. If the market doesn't, and we continue to go lower, then hey, it was this one. We can then move our zone and continue to ride that buy. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense, Austin? Shoot, even on the daily time frame, Austin, this right here is your starting point, bro. I have hella drawings everywhere. I'm trying to be like Neri so bad, bro. This is your daily starting point. And that's why we have a little bit of a reaction. Right? That's why we got that little bit of a reaction. And now we can narrow down. We can tighten up because this doesn't give me confirmation the market wants to go higher. It almost looks like, oops, it almost looks like we're going higher just to go lower and then to go higher, right? So I wouldn't mind if the market wants to go ahead and tap into this 4 hour. Wouldn't mind it. You know, it's all we need. All we need is a little bit of magic to give us the right direction. It's all we need, baby. Any questions before we head off tonight, guys? Let me know. Let me know. I know we had a couple rants throughout the call. We had a couple back testing sessions throughout the call. We had a couple, charts throughout the call. Fridays, it's a little bit of everything on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go ahead and shake it up a little bit. But man, I appreciate you guys for giving me your time. I don't take these calls lightly, guys. I mean, I try to give you guys all the information I can. I try to make everything make sense, not only to myself, but to you guys. And bro, be quiet. Y'all hear my dog, bro? I've only been on here for an hour, bro. He's always trying to go outside like every 10 minutes, I swear. I got you. But this is where we take it serious, guys. We have the system calls for you guys. Trust me. Like myself, Neri, Bavik, Jack, we don't need to do the calls. We really don't. We do them for you guys. So we can help you get to where we are now and make sure that learning curve happens a lot sooner rather than later. Trust me, guys. When I first came in here, not to throw shade on nobody's name, I'm not even going to say any names, but when I first came in here, everything was so new. Like, nobody knew what the heck was going on. We were all running around, running around the charts like our head was cut off, like a chicken with their head cut off. Literally everybody, like nobody knew what we were doing. Like I'm telling y'all, this was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, before y'all ever heard of Powerhouse. You know, it took us months. The person who brought me in took them a year and a half to learn, to get trading, to understand trading. For me, it took me like 6 months to a year. Now, for you guys, it takes 3 to 6 months to understand and grasp everything. And that's a blessing. Like, guys, that is a freaking blessing, bro. You guys know how much of a blessing that is, guys. I was out here like, bro, this shit. I don't know, big dog. I don't know trading for me right now, bro. I'm going through it. I don't know who I can ask for help. I don't really have guidance. We're all learning together. Is that okay? Yes, 1000%. But we all want to know. We all want to learn. We all want to get past this like beginning basic not understanding phase. We all want to continue going higher, but we didn't really know. Nah, bro, like the boy out here, I used to have a straight line. Now it's like, you know, no, I'm just kidding. I've always had this little peak. I used to have a fresh lineup, but trading pushed me back a little bit. There's nothing we can do about that, bro. Just kidding. I've always had this little widow's peak. That's just in my blood, baby. But guys, we take this very serious. We love to joke around in the chats. We love we love to have fun on these calls, but don't get it twisted. We love to take this trading stuff serious. We love the questions. We love the charts. We love you guys asking for help, and we want to help you guys. Guys, don't let 2026 be another 2025. I've known a lot of you guys for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and I want to see you guys all win, man. I want to see you guys all win. I know a lot of you guys have families. I know a lot of you guys have things going on at home, like myself. Like I got my mom who's not doing well. I got my niece and nephews, in and out of the system of foster care. We all have these things, man, and I want you guys to win, bad, really bad. And I'm here to help you guys. So I'm not here to have a sentimental moment, but man, I just want us to win, bro. So at the end of the day, if you guys need me for anything, on and off the charts, please hit me up, man. I'm always willing to help you guys. I'm always willing to be an ear if you need to talk. I'm always here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So let me know. Thank you guys for staying on the call. Thank you for giving me your time. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed weekend. Let me see, where am I at? You guys have a blessed weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. I will see you guys tomorrow on Neri's call. Let's get it.